Hello and welcome to Heroes of the Horn, a Wheel of Time podcast. I am Sir Matt, flying solo, much like the Golden Crane. Today, Ezra is in Germany and is on a completely different time schedule. So I don't know what time it is over there, but I'm sure it's incredibly early or incredibly late when he's in Germany. Well, it must be incredibly late because normally we record around this time, which is, I don't know, 4 o'clock Eastern or 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern, something like that. But he's going to be watching the live episode. We're doing the live tomorrow. It's going to be like, I don't know, 1 a.m. Germany time or whatever. But we are going to take a look at, there was a new sort of teaser, if you want to call it that. I saw it on their Instagram story. Let me actually share that again. I saw it on their Instagram story, and I believe they had it on Twitter earlier, but I think they took it down off Twitter. But it is a slightly different trailer than we saw, like the preview. Normally we get the previews today. We got a preview Monday, the normal one that we get, but now we have this one. So I'm going to share. This is from Instagram story. So I'm going to apologize that I can't really click through it. I thought they had it on Twitter earlier, but I checked and it looked like it was deleted. So we're just going to go ahead and take a look at the Instagram story here and roll with that.
The Dark One is waking. The whole world will burn.
Run may be the dragon. All 5 of you have a part to play.
Tell me how to find them. How many?
There must be at least 5,000 to 10,000.
What is it?
It's just another sign that the Dark One's strength is building.
They are calling for all women who can channel.
He knows where we are. He's coming.
Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah, see, I thought this was on Twitter. Yes, I did see those stills. There are stills. I saw them on I saw the stills on the Reddit, but again, they say they're official stills, and I was like, I want to show them, but I don't know if I show them, I'm gonna get flagged because they're not official. And they are pretty spoilery. Again, Ez and I did a full leak video talking about some of the leaked. There was like GIFs that came out a while ago, and they show quite a bit of some stuff that we're gonna see. They're on Twitter too. Okay, let me go to Twitter here, and I'll just see. Are they on the official Wheel of Time Twitter? Let's see here. Greetings and salutations to you as well. Because I don't think they're on like the official Wheel of Time Twitter. And then here we go. Let's bring this back up. So this is the one we got the other day.
We're getting closer. The Dark One's strength is building.
The last battle is here.
All 5 of you have a part to play.
See, some of the footage, some of the voicing is the same.
I promise you, when your life's on the line,
The power will be there.
The Wheel of Time. Only on Prime Video.
Which looks sweet, yeah. And the other one I'm gonna say, I could have sworn it was on Twitter earlier. They may have taken it down. We'll watch it again. It's slightly different.
The whole world will burn.
Run may be the dragon. All 5 of you have a part to play.
Tell me how to find them. How many?
There must be at least 5,000 to 10,000.
what is it?
It's just another sign that the Dark One's strength is building.
They are calling for all women who can channel.
He knows where we are. He's coming.
Are you ready?
I'm worried about the validity of those big leaks. So I will say that the leaks that Ezra and I covered, we did I think it was we did like a Patreon episode. If you guys, by the way, if you guys are they on Twitter? Can you post a link in the chat or something? They're not on like the official page. But I have seen them. I saw them on Reddit, but Reddit always makes me nervous, just because, you know, sometimes those could be leaked. But they look highly TV show wiki. So anywho, yeah, so the leaks that we covered are definitely from the show. I mean, they're like clearly well done, stuff like that, and they do coincide with now all of the official images we're seeing. I guess there's not that many people watching live, so do we want to talk about them, which could be potential spoilers for people, or do we want to kind of leave it both? Okay, I've seen both on YouTube. So, okay. Well, let's see if I can pull it up on YouTube here. Then that way I can click through it. It's not like an Instagram story. But the images confirm the leaks, by the way. The images 100% confirm the leaks. Real time final preview. Here we go. Shout out to whoever this dude is. He's showing on his YouTube.
The Dark One is waking. The whole world will burn.
Run may be the dragon. All 5 of you have a part to play.
So I'm thinking that's Padan Fane saying that, is my guess.
How to find them?
How many? There must be at least 5 to 10,000.
5 to 10,000. We get Min. She can hear stuff. This is that shot that we saw in the this is that shot that we saw in the behind the scenes trailer with there's a car going by an army.
Just another sign that the Dark One's strength is building.
They are calling for all women who can channel.
They're calling for. So now my guess is that's going to be, you know, the Dark One. We know who it is.
Where we are. He's coming.
Now who is that? Right here. Who's that? Is that the Fade? Is that Padan Fane? It's kind of hard to tell.
Are you ready?
There's Lady Amalisa.
Are you ready?
It's gonna be sweet. Is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be super awesome. Fade probably. Is it Steve? It could be. It could be Steve. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Where did you guys find those images? We'll go ahead and show them. Wheel of Time TV show season 8 images. Not season 8, episode 8. What am I doing? See if we can. Because I mean, the ones on Reddit. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know what? Let's just do it. I know they're on Reddit, and they look pretty. They look pretty legit. I just don't want to get hit with like a copyright strike or anything. Yeah, it's 2030. Wheel of Time doesn't work. Come on, Reddit. There we go. We can just talk about them if you want. Yeah, that's fine. So for those of you guys, yeah, because I just don't want to get it says official promotional images. Just we got hit with a copyright thing. We did like a big leak thing a while ago, and so I'm just trying to be a little protective. So here we go. So here we see, this is just from the trailer. We see Nynaeve and Egwene, and they're staring towards the gap. Right. I'm assuming this is the Trolloc army that's going to be rushing, and we're gonna have to deal with that. From the If you take a look, if you go back and you look at the trailer, Lady Amelisa's talking about it. Yeah, it does, but but be careful for sure. Yeah, they aren't being taken down like the gifts. Yeah, I just wonder where they got them, because these are definitely official. Um yeah, so we know we're going to be taking on the Trolloc army. The rest of the images definitely make it seem like this is going to be photo leaks or like episode rundown leaks. Today we're just gonna talk kind of just about like what we think's gonna happen. There definitely are some leaks. I'll say this though, that the leaks talk Don's show better safe than sorry. Okay. Yeah, so I mean ultimately I think what we're gonna have is, it's from everything we've seen with the trailer as well as some of the leaks and everything like that. It's seeming like it's going to line up pretty much along the lines of the end of Eye of the World, which is cool because that's what this is. There's going to be a few differences. I mean, it looks like there's one picture where Padon Fane is holding a box, and we know Padon Fane just showed up because we saw him in the last episode, and we can't really see we don't see what's inside the box, but a lot of people think, hey, this could be the Horn of Valere, which obviously is awesome for us, right? And yeah, the promotional stuff is incredibly spoilery. So I won't necessarily dive into sort of all of it. So ultimately, it seems like, right, we are going to go down the path of Eye of the World, but it seems like there's going to be one Forsaken instead of two, which we see at the end of the Eye of the World. And I mean, I think it's pretty obvious too, if you think about who is the Forsaken that we've seen in the visions and stuff like that, right? With the burning eyes. But all in all, everything is looking awesome. Both the trailers and the official stuff we're getting, as well as obviously the leaks. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty crazy action-packed episode. It looks like it's going to be a ton of fun, and I'm cannot wait. We're literally, we're 24 and 19 minutes as of right now, since we're doing this live, away from the season finale. So it's going to be stupid awesome, is what I'm gathering. My guess, there was a question earlier. Yeah, I think it is. It's definitely a Forsaken, but I do think maybe they might try to build him as the Dark One, or then maybe we get introduced to the idea of the Forsaken. And I also would not be surprised if we don't alter or change the way we sort of think the way we think of the Forsaken. Like maybe they're just aspects of the Dark One. They could change it a little bit for the show, but in all intents and purposes, it's kind of the same thing, really. After the in the official show, they said that with COVID restrictions, that all the Trollocs had to be mainly CGI. I hope it's not bad looking. Let me tell you, there is some leaked GIFs. I think you can still go find them somewhere, and the CGI looks freaking epic for this episode. I can tell you that. There's one in particular, and again, Ez and I did a Patreon episode where we went through those leaked images and everything. So, I mean, again, I'm super pumped for tomorrow's episode. But yeah, I mean, the big one that's in these photos, right, that are on Reddit and stuff like that. One of them shows Padan Fane holding this box. There were some other like rumored leaks that the Horn of Valere would actually be in the possession of Lord Algamar. And some people said you could even see it in like the episode, but all we do is we see him in these images, we see him holding a box. You can't really see what's in it. And it's like this white box, and it's got some cool coloring. It's got some cool coloring on it. But I mean, I think we're all, I mean, it's, it's about this size. It does look like it would fit. It would hold a Horn of Valere. And Padan Fane sitting in Lord Algamar's chair. He's clearly talking to somebody. My guess is maybe Perrin, especially since Matt isn't here. Yes, we are. Yeah, he just messaged us. Yeah, Mike's book reviews just messaged us like 2 days ago, and was asked us if we'd be willing to come on his show and do a review, season 1 wrap. Yeah, I actually remember seeing a couple of his videos a couple of years ago on Witcher stuff, because then I did, for my own personal YouTube channel, I did at Super Games Bros. You can go to Super Games Bros. I normally do review video games and stuff over there, but I covered the first Witcher book, and I'd seen his. So yeah, but we're gonna be going in there probably sometime just after the new year, like the 4th or something like that. I definitely think we're getting loose Theron. Yeah. And yeah, that's all I'll say on that, in terms of, potential leaks and other things. But yeah, we definitely pretty sure we're getting loose there. In the book, does Rand think he is fighting the Dark One at the Eye? I think, let me pull up my Kindle here. I'm pretty sure he might think he's fighting the Dark One, but it all kind of happens so fast in the Eye of the World, to be entirely honest. But it is, let me get it pulled up here. Library. I want the Eye of the World. One second here. Not the Wheel of Time companion book. I want somewhere in here. Yeah, but ultimately he's fighting Algamar, and I always forget the other guy's name that he's fighting. Oh, there we go. Sometimes you have your Kindle and it's set to some sort of weird. Let's see here. Yeah, and the Eye of the World's like up on top of a mountain. When they're, so I can tell you this, I definitely do not think, I think we had been talking. Yeah, it's Balsamon that he thinks he's fighting. Right here, actually, I'll show it. Balsamon seemed to notice nothing. It matters little if you are alive or dead, except to you and what power you might have. You will serve me, or your soul will. But I would rather have you kneel to me alive than dead. A single fist of Trolloc sent to your village when I could have sent 1,000. One dark friend to face you where 100 could come on you asleep. And you, fool, you don't even know them all. Neither those ahead, nor those behind, nor those by your side. You are mine. You always have been. My dog on a leash, and I brought you here to kneel to your master or die, and let your soul kneel. So this is the Eye of the World. I think it's going to be slightly different because, again, then Egwene and Nynaeve are there, and he's seeing this. He's seeing this vision. Sorry, they're there in a vision. So yeah, it's Balsamon ultimately that he's he's sort of, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I know he thinks Balsamon is the Dark One. Yeah, I do think so. I think you as the reader too think that Balsamon is the Dark One. I think you think Balsamon is the Dark One for quite a while, until really about the end of The Dragon Reborn. He's kill the Dark One, right? Yes, that is definitely kind of how it goes. I don't think it's supposed to say Lord of the Rings people. I will say though, the chapter, this chapter right here, there is neither beginning nor end, which is when Rand basically starts using the power, like, and it's all sort of happening at once. Yeah, and he thinks he's, after he's beginning to remember, because he's hearing, things right here. He's thinking about the Heron Mark blade, Tam, my father. Like it's actually written incredibly well, and it's just a sort of one giant, like, intense read through. As you're sort of, yeah. I hope they don't do the "I killed the Dark One" fake out more than once, if at all. And then he sees like another sword. Yeah, the Green Man. The Green Man, I don't think is happening at all. We'd have to introduce him, explain why he's important. Don't think we're getting the Green Man whatsoever. Keep clicking through here. The Dark One and the Forsaken are bound to Shea Ghul, bound by the Creator. Agenor and Bethamel must have been trapped near the surface. See, now that could be cool. Maybe that, and Ez and I have talked about that too, is maybe we, yeah, the Green Man was the skull Rand saw at the end of the last episode. Yeah, that maybe we will release some of these Forsaken by doing this. I'm not sure we will get the horn either. I would encourage you to go look up these official, air quote, official photos that have been released. Just, I guess, if we want to call them that. I mean, they do look like sort of legitimate production things. But yeah, I mean, there's this photo of Padon Fane holding this box, this white box, and it's got gold trim around it. Is it the Horn of Valere? Now, there were rumors I guess, 2 weeks ago now, that you would be able to see the horn in Faldara. And so this could, is that the dagger box that he's holding? Is that the dagger box that he's holding? I don't know. Well, here, I'll show it for a second. Here we go. I mean, it looks pretty legit to me. That's all I'm going to say. Is it? Yeah. I think it's the Horn of Valere. I think they're just going to change it a little bit, and it's not going to be at the eye, unless we get some sort of comeback where Rand because we know Rand is going to go there. He's going to go to the Eye of the World. He's going to do stuff. There's nothing in the photos that could even actually be. That could actually be maybe an end credits thing, where maybe Rand and Moraine go to the Eye of the World. They fight, whichever Forsaken they're going to be fighting, and then yeah, I just showed it. Here we go. So to me, I mean, that's clearly not. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. Do a side by side of the dagger box. Oh, the dagger box is like this big, and it was long. The dagger box was long. Let me pull it up. Here, let me pull this up. Yeah, I mean, this is the dagger box was like this longer thing. It's definitely not definitely not that. So yeah, I think great comment here by Kerwee. I think it's the horn, and I think they already had it safekeeping at the borderlands, which would be cool. And that could be something. Yeah, and that could be something that it's either there or it's maybe they do it as a post-credit scene, and we see Rand get all these things, including the dragon banner, which he gets at the Eye of the World, and then he goes back. We have a little bit of resolution. Put on Fane's there. We know he's been sneaking around, and then we see him maybe like at the end, and he's stealing something, or he's holding that box and he's sitting in that chair like he owns the place, and perhaps he's talking to somebody and gonna give it to them or something. I'm feeling we might get a scene of Luce Theron and the companions sealing the Dark One's prison, leading into the Eye of the World prologue, perhaps the cold open for a finale. Yeah, I definitely think we're getting Luce Theron. Definitely, 100%, 1000%. What's your guess on the cold open? Real quick here, I saw this on Reddit. If you had a Wheel of Time Reddit leaks had that, so that one's like definitely a leak. The Sean Chan, right? Fane is sitting in Algamar's throne, so it's either during the attack or Algamar dies. My guess on the cold open, yeah. Do we see the last week's cold open with Rand's mom? It was important because they used it and then they came back to it in the middle of the episode. With Suwan, it was pretty straightforward because she has like, she has like the markings or whatever, tattoos, whatever. She has it as like pretty specific as to who she is, and then we see her not very much longer after that. So yeah, interviews with Luce Theron's actor say it's in the past and the present. So my guess would be we do get some sort of cold open or something with him, Moraine explaining who the original dragon was to Rand, and then we come back to him, and perhaps Luce Theron speaks to Rand when Rand's facing on, the Dark One at the Eye of the World. Yeah. It's definitely going to be some sort of Luce Theron thing. But I don't know. Yeah. There are 3 Sean Chan picks in the official Twitter thread. So is that like on the Wheel of Time Twitter? Or is that on some other Twitter? Because I'm on the official Wheel of Time Twitter and I don't see anything about any of those images. WOT Wiki? Is that a Twitter thread? Oh, it's on the Wheel of Time Wiki. Oh, here we go. Wheel of Time Wiki is... Okay, but that's not like an official... Yeah, that's not an official Twitter. That's... I see. That's clear. That's clearly some sort of fan thing. I mean, they're there. The images are there. They're 100. Those images are 100% there. But sometimes if you show leaks on YouTube videos, you get flagged. Wow, there's actually more on here. Holy crap. Ooh, there's a soldier with a burned face. That looks like Lord Algamar too. Ooh, that doesn't look good. Yeah, okay, yeah, there's a ton of photos on here. Where do they get these? Yes, but a lot of those photos are there too. Yeah, wow. Yeah, so anyway, regardless. Yeah, let me see here. Definitely Lews Therin will have his first conversation with Rand as he battles the Forsaken. Or is it possible Lews Therin fights them through Rand as he does not know what he's doing yet? I kind of think now we're getting the prologue next season, which would make sense if we get a lot of the Dragon Reborn book in there to have that as the cold open for it. Yeah, I do. And I've said that I think we're merging the Dragon Reborn and the Great Hunt for next season. Just because they're two shorter books. I feel like you could merge them into one. And then I do think we're definitely gonna get the Lews Therin Eliana thing, especially because season 2 is going to, season 2 is gonna have to introduce Selene / Lanfear, very important character. And obviously her relationship with Lews Therin is very important. So to have the Eye of the World opening, which is the very, famous Lews Therin Eliana right scene is gonna you have to have that at some point. Will Lews Therin appear as an effect like for Logain, do you think? I could definitely see that. Definitely. Like he is, yeah, Lews Therin is there and he's talking to Rand just like Logain hears the voices in his head. Can't wait to see Varen in season 2. Yeah, I think she was one of those that was yeah. I mean, if those are, on that Twitter thread, right, the Wheel of Time wiki, I'll direct you guys over there. I really like the look of the Shan-Chan. When I was reading the books, I couldn't really imagine what they would look like, but I like this idea. Yeah, I have this. Let me get it pulled up here. I really, really enjoy this resource. Let me get it pulled up here. Capture. That's not what I want. eDrive. Oh God, where is it? Gigapixel image batch. Here we go. This is what I want. Okay, so I have this really, it's a really nice map, and I don't know who did it originally, but I have this program which uses AI and it will enhance things. So this, I took this and I enhanced it to, I believe, 4K, and so I can super zoom in on stuff, and it just makes it look really nice. Unfortunately, sometimes it can sort of like do some weird blurring effects or stuff like that to things. But so this is like where the Shan-Chan are from, for those of you guys who are kind of new, and we hear. So here's where we're at now. This is like the White Tower, and then this is where we're at. Well, here's where we're at now. Is Fall Dara. So the Shan-Chan right there, this group that exists over on the other side of the ocean, right, the Arth Ocean, and they're going to be, well, a thorn in our side pretty much for the rest of the series, to be entirely honest. But on this map, it's really cool. They sort of break down some of the like our world ideas, I guess. What's the word I'm looking for? Inspiration of, if you kind of look at people and like what region they would be coming from. So, I think more sort of like Japanese imagery is kind of I guess what the book is saying, what this map kind of alludes to. And I think it's kind of accurate for some of this stuff. But looking at the imagery they have, if those leaks are to be true, they kind of go with a slightly different take on them. Where was that at? Except for the Texan accents. Is that what it said? Did it say that on there? Let me see. Let me pull that back up. Their accent is similar to Texas. They're okay. Well, what does it say about some of these other things? Yeah, I mean, like the Two Rivers. I mean, that's Two Rivers folk are being known for stubborn, hardworking people. Think like English country folk. I think I think that's kind of. I think that's kind of that can be kind of accurate. Tier seems about right. The sea folk. Now, see, actually, the stuff we're seeing, the images we're seeing of the Sean Shannon, these leaks actually caused me to think they look a little bit more like this. Now, the sea folk, technically, they come from down here. An island, a little island down here. And again, there's other maps too. I just kind of like this one. But it is kind of crazy. I mean, this is so, it's like, so this is sort of our path that we've gone from, Emmons Field, Shadar Logoth, then here's in the audiobook they call it Gildon, but in the show they call it more Galdon. We kind of skipped Camelin, and here's Baerlon, right? And then we all ended up here at the White Tower. And then we take the ways all the way to Fal Dara. Here's Tarwin's Gap, Malkir, right? That's where Land's from. And then the Eye of the World is somewhere up here, right? In the Blight, maybe even over here. This map does show where we run into Forsaken. So seems like maybe that's actually where we ultimately went or something like that. But then next season is where things are going to get really crazy, because then you start to go all over the place. And especially if we merge two books, right? I mean, do we end up in Tyr? You got Ilion down here. Going on, Amadisia's over here. These are Falma, right? Toman Head and Falma. So we're going to begin jumping around quite a bit that we can do all this stuff. Terra Bonners. Yeah. Change that. Yeah, the eye changes location. Yeah, it's found based on need. Yeah, and again, whoever made this map just put a Forsaken up there. It doesn't mean that's where we found that particular person. They sort of have these symbols right here on the legend shows that these are when we run into Forsaken. So I mean, yeah, we know we go into the Blight and we run into it. We run into the Eye of the World wherever. Do you think they will do books 2 and 3 in one season? Yes, I definitely do. I 100% believe we are merging books 2 and 3 next season. And I'll show you why. So this is another one of my sort of favorite resources here. Let me get this up. Wheel of Time word count. So here is sort of a really cool statistical. Oh, break that down. Let me get this pulled up here. So this is sort of like a statistical breakdown of word count per book. And so here is The Eye of the World, which we did as roughly one season. Now, to be fair, there was a little bit of New Spring stuff in here, which isn't counted in here in this, which New Spring is obviously the prequel. So we've added a little bit there, but really where we've brought stuff in is kind of in like character development, and I guess I would say power scaling, is that we're like kind of way ahead on a lot of that stuff. And I think for television, it's a little bit easier to do because you know, when we're seeing somebody develop powers, it can sort of just be like they are just become more and more powerful, and every person they face, you can just sort of do it. You know, it's like when you go watch like Supergirl or whatever, it's like they're always getting more and more and more powerful. And so you can skip a lot of text on there. There's a lot of stuff that we'll be able to cut out because it's just repeat nonsense, like the girls getting captured like 40 times. But yeah, one of the reasons is, I mean, just look at the word count for The Great Hunt and The Dragon Reborn. They're two of the shortest books. And the ending, while they are different, I think what kind of ends up happening really at the end of both books is you sort of have this like big battle where Rand is on the inside, like fighting, you know, somebody, and everyone's on the outside doing stuff, which is actually kind of what happens in a lot of books, actually, because that's like kind of what the same things happens in The Eye of the World. But I think you could just move it all to Tyr, which is in The Dragon Reborn, where Rand gets Kalendor, obviously the incredibly powerful Terangriel sword, and or not Terangriel or whatever. He gets Kalendor in The Dragon Reborn. But in The Great Hunt, Rand is fighting he's fighting a blade master, and anyway, the Horn of Valere sounded on the outside because we have to fight a bunch of people. Matt blows it. And so I think you could kind of just move all that stuff to here. The Dragon Reborn is also a book in which Rand is like not in it, to be entirely honest. He's kind of like wandering the countryside, like as he sort of leaves everyone and is like going down to Tyr because he's searching for Kalendor. And like The Great Hunt is a lot of it is spent hunting for the Horn of Valere, right? Even though we start with it and then it gets taken by Padan Fain. So really we're hunting Padan Fain. So I think there's like a lot of stuff I think that you could really merge here. Some of the stuff that's like going on with the girls is they're beginning their training, their Aes Sedai training, which again, we can speed along a little bit because we're already showing that they're just super powerful. They're already saying like, wow, Nynaeve and Egwene are just so powerful, like Moraine, and everyone can't believe it. So you might be able to move some of that along. There's a little bit of the Eye of the World, unfortunately, that we're gonna have that we didn't do that we're gonna have to do in season 2, which we know we're getting Elaine. Do you think Lan is going after Moraine, or will he lead the army and fly his banner early? Wow, I don't know. And we did see Nynaeve talk to him in that little teaser where she says, he's like, you know, saying, I think he said something like, "Tell me how to fight" or something like that. That's their relationship feels like it's moved. Yeah, possibility of Matt being evil. I think they could allude to it in this last episode, maybe just because just because I don't know, just because Barney Harris left and we need to kind of do something and give him a reason. I don't know. Maybe they'll push Kyrian back and replace those beats with Camelin. That could definitely happen. I think Max gets the dagger back and has to be healed again. That could be a thing, and then that could maybe I don't know. I think they're just going to introduce the new actor and just roll with it. Yeah, have to put one episode. Have to put one aside episode to meet Elaine. Now, you know what we could do is we could just sort of, since part of Camelin in The Eye of the World, which is book 1, which we didn't cover in season 1, is when Logain is paraded through Camelin. That's where Rand sort of meets Elaine. We could just have Elaine be at the tower beginning her training, and then she's introduced to the girls if they go back, I'm assuming, for next season. I think also what's going to happen at the tower is next season when the girls start their Aes Sedai training, we're going to be able to really get a lot of like lore dumping done really fast, because we will be able to just have them training as the Aes Sedai, and so they're going to be learning a lot about the Dark Ones and the Forsaken and all of that stuff. So I think we can definitely just sort of like really push a lot of that stuff forward. Yeah, did Moraine sick the Reds on Matt or Matt on the Reds? See, that's all new. So I don't know. Yeah, is Donald Finn going to grow his beard out and let his hair grow, or does he have to look different from Barney? I don't know. I never envisioned Matt having a beard in the first place. All the sort of photos of Matt Cawthon don't, or at least fan art. To me, actually, Donald Finn looks a little more like Matt does. Yeah, Elaine already at the tower or arriving is the cleanest way. Yeah, because we don't have to go back to Camelin since we already did that whole Logain thing. But then Logain's going to be there, so seems like he's way. Jimmy, shout out to Jimmy. We are overlooking them. I definitely think that we are. I definitely think that we are going to merge Leander and Elida. Just because we've already started pushing. We've already started pushing Leandrin as like challenging Suan. So I think that the tower's definitely going to fall next season too. Now, the other thing is, I also think, because of how much of our showdown happened with the White Cloaks, is that you could almost take quite a bit of Perrin's arc in the Shadow Rising, to be honest, and bring it just to season 2. Because in the Shadow Rising, Perrin meets Fael, who's going to be a fan favorite, I'm sure, who is a hunter of the horn, right? So throughout the whole thing, you're going to meet people that are hunting for the horn, even though we've already got it. So you could possibly have Perrin's Shadow Rising arc brought into this season 2 because of what happened with the White Cloaks. So you could really, I mean, if you kind of want to do that, we've already established that, he sent his wolf pack came and saved him, and he sort of has this showdown with these White Cloaks in the Shadow Rising. I think you could get that definitely brought forward. Yeah, so will Rand meet Elaine? Next season, I do. Yeah, they've already built up Leandrin, given her a hidden mail contract, and set her up as a Suan challenger. Definitely. Will Rand meet Elaine and Tyr? That could happen, especially if the girls meet. So if the girls meet Elaine at the White Tower, like they go back to the White Tower, begin their training. That's where they meet Elaine, and then we merge the Great Hunt and Dragon Reborn, which I do think is happening. Then she could go with. She could go with the girls, and then that's where she could meet Rand for the first time. That could happen. And that could be like the start of season 3 is like that. And again, some of these relationships I think are getting pushed forward, especially Rand's. Because I would say season 3, we need to be setting up like the Aiel and Rand with the Aiel and all of that stuff. By season 3, we definitely should be pushing forward the Aiel. Shout out to Jimmy. The grave is no bar to our call. After the battle. Oh, maybe this battle? Maybe. In the Great Hunt, she sort of just like gives him this vision where she realizes that she's one of like the 3 women. Yeah, I think that image that we saw too of Padon Fane holding that box. The horn doesn't need build up because the horn didn't have build up. We didn't even know what it was until in book 2. I mean, that's the whole deal. So that's what season 2 can just be about that, and it can actually be an actual just full on hunt for the horn, and we're going to meet all of these people. The sort of irony of the Great Hunt is that we already have the horn at the beginning, and then it's really a hunt for Padon Fane. Yeah, I feel like the horn had no build up so far, so I find it weird if all of a sudden we build a lot of cultural world building around in season 2. Yeah, it's sort of it's sort of the same way the Great Hunt is it's just one of these objects we get at the end of book 1, the Eye of the World. Yeah, maybe the baby was Min saw was hers and Rand's, and she didn't want to say. A lot of people have been saying that. A lot of people have been saying, "Ooh, I think maybe that could be." Yeah, cold opener of the Hunters of the Horn would be, but yeah, I think that's all season 2 stuff. I think that's definitely all. I think that's definitely all season 2. Yeah, we do. We do hear about the hunt for the horn in book 1, but it's really like a much bigger deal in book 2. But again, I think you can just introduce it in season 2 and be fine. Yeah, that's where I'm at. 100%. I think Perrin will go after the horn and Rand will go to Tyr. In my opinion, the Great Hunt and the Dragon Reborn plots will run parallel in season 2. That's where I'm at. And again, I could be wrong, but again, just looking here, I mean, just of the word counts, these are 2 of the shorter the shorter books. I mean, the shortest book is Path of Daggers. I mean, what's this? Is Winter's Heart and Dragon Reborn are they're just about the same. So, of the 5 shortest books, I mean, this looks like maybe 3 and 4. Right. Yeah, combining these books is also a great way for them to get away with already naming an episode after a book. Yeah, I think you have to split the plot that way because you can't have 3 episodes of the girls in the tower and 1 in Falma, then shunt them off to Tyr and the episode. Yeah, when I say that I think they're going to be merged, I don't think it's going to be like 4 and 4. I think they're going to be like blended. I think they're parallel, like blended, just because there's a lot of stuff like the Dragon Reborn. Again, a lot of it. There's so much of it where it's just like you don't really get Rand, and when you do, he's sort of just like sitting by a campfire. And so there's like a lot of stuff. And then again, the girls get captured here, the girls get captured here. You can cut a lot of that stuff out. So these to me are like pretty easy to blend together. We have been a little bit talking about some of the leak stuff. I'm kind of keeping it somewhat. There's somewhat spoilery free, I suppose. Certainly not like those gifts that were leaked, but yeah, just kind of rolling around with it here. Actually, I'll probably be rolling off here in about 10 minutes. Just kind of wanted to hop on and do something fun. Mostly because I wanted to look at that other preview that we saw. So, and then I didn't really want to just make a YouTube video of it, so I thought I would just come on live. And the season finale is tomorrow, and Ez and I will definitely be going live. He's in Germany right now, so it's going to be like 1 a.m. his time when it comes out. Yeah, first episode of season 2, titled The Great Hunt, and the last, The Dragonborn. I think we actually already have the name for I think we already have the name for season 2. Season 2. I think there was like an image. Season 2 is called Something Solitude. A Taste of Solitude. Season 2, episode 1, A Taste of Solitude. That was like an official image. Oh, I don't know. Will they still be using real wolf dogs or CGI? Where does the dagger end up end of season 1 in Matt's possession? I don't know. We didn't really see like where it went, right? Like Lan puts a towel or a blanket over it, and then that's kind of it. I don't think we've actually seen where it goes. My guess is it's with Matt still, but she tells him not to use it, but they're at the tower. So yeah, where is it now is a legitimate question, because we don't actually see it. Is Moraine and Lan go in, and then Lan puts a blanket over it to pick it up, and then that's the last time we see it. It's at the tower too. So now, interestingly, later Padon Fane steals it from the tower, but that's like book 4 or 5. I think 5 could be. Which is why they can. Yeah, good point here, Stephanie. Then they could, of course, explain that later as why he didn't go through, because they're gonna have to. I mean, that is a thing. Is next season? I know we're getting a different actor for Matt, but we are gonna have to sort of explain that. Yeah, what if Leandrin's guy is Padon Fane and she gave him the dagger from the tower? Yeah, book 5. Yeah. On our podcast, by the way, and because we are on the last episode, we're still going to, obviously, we're never going to stop covering the show, but Ezra and I are going through the books. If you guys want to do sort of a read along, or you just want to hear us sort of talk about them, we do like big blocks of chapters. And we just finished book 5. We'll be starting book 6 sometime in January. No way is Rand going to face off against Balsamon at the Eye without some impressive channeling. Yeah, we're definitely going to see something pretty cool, because some people were asking if we're going to get that sort of raging sun moment. Yeah, I definitely think so. Does making Fane the show's ultimate big bad guy make things easier? No, I don't know. I don't think so. I like Padon Fane in the books, and again, I've only read beginning a little bit through book 6. I know like quite a bit of stuff that happens after, but I'll go. Matt and Tom go on a search for the dagger. Perrin and Borderlanders go after the horn. Both of these merge as Padon has both. Rand goes on a I need to be alone quest, or he goes on a quest for Kalendor. And maybe I especially could see Moraine telling him that, if we get the dragon banner, let's say the dragon banner is the only thing we get or something. Let's say that he gets the dragon banner or just whatever. He gets some item. And then at the Eye of the World, like we do in the books. So then Moraine is. So then I could definitely see Show Moraine, who seems like she's doing this with a lot more urgency than Book Moraine. So, being like, well, if we're gonna go, if we need to go for some sort of artifact, which is kind of the whole deal, we're fulfilling these prophecies, we're finding all these artifacts. Seems like the one that she's gonna be like, this is the one we need to go after the most is Kalendor, because it's a sword. So that could be why Rand is on this quest to go get it. I could even see them doing something where, in Rand kind of goes off on his I need to be alone quest, but I could even see Moraine like maybe being summoned back and her telling Rand, this is where you need to go. This is where I think it is, or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I am catching up on the books, but it's my first read, and we are still doing it as a first read podcast. But we plow through them actually pretty quick. We do them in definitely big blocks. By the time season 2 comes out, I think we'll be all the way through, like book 8 or something. I mean, we're on a pretty aggressive pace. I can see Rand going off on his own to Tyr like the books, and everyone has to chase him. Yeah. I think this is happening too. Yeah. Season 1 ends with a broken seal, and the Forsaken are going to be free. I can see that for sure. Awesome. Well, I'm going to do a couple more here, and then I'm going to have to roll out. We hit an hour. I only had just about an hour of time today, and I just thought I'd pop on here and just go live to talk about that trailer. So you know what? Let's pull that back up and rewatch it. And I saw it on their Instagram. So we'll just go back to there. This is their Instagram story. It's a slightly different trailer.
Is waking. The whole world will burn.
You guys can hear that, right?
The dragon. All 5 of you have a part to play.
Tell me how to find them.
How many? There must be at least 5 to 10,000.
What is it?
It's just another sign that the Dark One's strength is building.
They are calling for all women who can channel.
He knows where we are. He's coming.
Are you ready?
It's gonna be sweet. It's gonna be. Oh, can't hear it. Oh, my bad. You sure? Okay. Let's do that again. Share screen. Oh, you're 100% correct. Let's do that again. There we go.
Is waking. The whole world will burn.
Run may be the dragon. All 5 of you have a part to play.
Tell me how to find them.
How many? There must be at least 5 to 10,000.
What is it?
It's just another sign that the Dark One's strength is building.
They are calling for all women who can channel.
He knows where we are. He's coming.
Are you ready?
Looks sweet. I'm pumped. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Yes, so many questions. Yeah. I know. The voice talking about all 5 did sound like Matt. I wouldn't be surprised, by the way, if we don't get some sort of Matt in the next episode. And it's like whether it's reused footage or stuff that they had that they didn't use, that they rework or something. And then they're calling for all the women. So I think all the women are going to come together and do something pretty epic. All the women that can channel, which is going to be pretty sweet. Yeah, they did. If the horn is cut from the show, ultimately, will we change the name of our channel? No, definitely not. But I mean, of all the things they could cut, I just don't see how they could cut the Heroes of the Horn. I mean, if they cut the Heroes of the Horn, I think I'll probably shift gears and I'll be on these people that are like, okay, I'm out. There's just no way they could cut. It's just too big of a it's too big of a deal. They've already teased Brigetta Silverbow. All 5 of you. Yeah. That too. They already mentioned her. Yeah, there's just no way. The kazoo. Well, they did change, Tom plays a guitar. Yeah, Brigitte's already fortunate. And she's just so freaking awesome. I remember, so like it was funny. The whole reason we came up with the name, Here's the Horn, by the way. And so like I knew like barely little about Wheel of Time before we started this whole thing. Just that like my brother's super into it. I have 2 brothers that are super into it. And as Ezra had read it, and he was like, "Well, we need a name for the podcast." And so I just started looking stuff up. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just look up like factions or something like that. And one of the things I said, I was like, who are like the children of Shaitan or something like that? And he was like, whoa, like he was like, whoa, can't call herself that, buddy. And I was like, okay, all right. So then I was like looking up other names, and I was like, and then Brigetta Silverbow was a name I came across, and I was like, well, God, this person sounds freaking sweet. I was like, Silverbow, that sounds pretty awesome. And then I clicked on her page, and I was like, oh, it says she's a hero. She's a hero of the Horn. And then that was how we found the name. That's how we decided on that to be our name. I can't remember. We had something else. There was I can't remember what our other potential names were. But yeah, so ultimately that's how we went, because I was like, oh man, they're just so sweet. So awesome. All right, guys. Well, hey, thank you guys all for hanging out. Just wanted to pop on here and do something quick, and now we're an hour and 7 minutes in, which is awesome. But remember, tomorrow we will be here doing another live rewatch, doing our after show after that. We do have some more stuff coming up soon. We're going to be doing something with Mike's book reviews. He invited us to come on his channel and do a talk after the show. He has like fantasy book reviews and stuff like that. So looking forward to that. Then for everybody, the following week, by the way, if you want to check out one of Ezra and I's other projects, is we'll be doing the same thing that Wednesday for Book of Boba Fett over on our Star Wars channel, which is called Hyperspace Hangout. So we'll still be doing that, but that doesn't mean we're stopping any Wheel of Time coverage. We'll move on to the books, and we'll be bringing on everybody, bringing on our patrons like Ryan, and so we have some other people as well. So if you want to sign up for that, come on the show, chat with us, you can absolutely do that. But we will definitely be doing all these live hangouts and all of that stuff. So thank you guys all for watching. Super appreciate it. Anytime I pop on here and it's like the next thing you know, we have like 75 people, it's honestly insane to think about. So super appreciate everybody coming on. We will see you guys tomorrow, and remember that the grave is no bar to our call.